Let me ask you something. What happens when a man finally stops waiting for her to come back and starts walking like she never existed? Not because he's bitter, not because he's trying to win, but because he finally understands what he's worth. You see, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's not some announcement you post online, it's quiet. A silent decision made in the dark after too many nights staring at the ceiling, questioning yourself. And then one day, you wake up and you just don't crave her anymore. Not her attention, not her apology, not her validation. You become still, steady, clear. And that's the version of you she never saw coming. Let's talk about that. First thing, the pain didn't break you. It built you differently. Picture this. You're lying awake one night. No texts, no calls, just that heavy silence that wraps around you like a cold blanket. Her absence used to crush you. It used to feel like you were drowning in it. But not this time. This time, something shifts. You're no longer asking, why did she leave? You're asking, what is this pain trying to teach me? And that's when it starts. The real change doesn't happen in the gym or on your Instagram story. It happens in the quiet, in the moments when no one's watching and the only person you have to face is you. You didn't let the heartbreak shatter you. You let it shape you. Like a blade being forged in fire, burned, hammered, hardened. You didn't numb out the pain. You studied it. You learned how to breathe through it. And in doing so, you became something she never expected. A man who no longer bleeds from the same wounds she once opened. She thought you'd break. You didn't. You built something. And now she's looking at a man she doesn't recognize. Because the old you burned. And this version was born from the flames. Second thing, you're no longer hungry for her love. You're full without it. There was a time when one good morning text from her could light up your entire day. One compliment could fix a week of insecurity. Her affection wasn't just welcome, it was fuel. But that was before you realized something dangerous. You were starving for validation, starving for attention, starving for a love that you kept begging for in whispers. Back then, you mistook her interest for nourishment, but it was crumbs, man. Just enough to keep you chasing, just enough to keep you hoping. Now, you're not hungry anymore. You're not out here begging to be seen. You're not checking your phone like it holds your worth. You've stopped looking at love like a rescue mission because somewhere along the way, you stopped needing someone to fill you and started filling yourself. You built peace. You built structure. You built a life so full that her presence no longer completes you. It just passes by. She feels that now. She reaches out expecting the same desperate eyes, but finds calm ones. She sends a text expecting urgency, but gets stillness. And that stillness, that fullness, it's not cold, it's complete. You're not the man who needs her love anymore, because you finally gave it to yourself first. Fourth thing, you're not waiting for closure. You've become the closure. You used to lie awake, replaying it all. The last message, the weird shift in energy. That moment she looked at you like a stranger. You wanted answers. You needed them. You thought if she just explained why she pulled away, the pain would finally make sense. But closure, it never came. And that used to hurt. Until you realized something powerful. You don't need her words to heal. You don't need her approval to move. You are the closure. You stopped searching for meaning in her silence and started writing your own. You stopped asking, why did she? And started asking, why did I stay? And that question, that's the one that changed you. Now, when she reaches out, it's not you trying to connect. It's her trying to make sense of what slipped through her fingers. But you've already found your answer. It wasn't in a message. It wasn't in an apology. It was in the mirror. You didn't close the chapter. You became the pen. You don't need to be told why she let go. Because now, you're just glad you finally did. Fourth thing, you're not waiting for closure. You've become the closure. You used to lie awake, replaying it all. The last message, the weird shift in energy. That moment she looked at you like a stranger. You wanted answers. You needed them. You thought if she just explained why she pulled away, the pain would finally make sense. But closure, it never came. And that used to hurt. Until you realized something powerful. You don't need her words to heal. You don't need her approval to move. You are the closure. You stopped searching for meaning in her silence and started writing your own. You stopped asking, why did she? And started asking, why did I stay? And that question, that's the one that changed you. Now, when she reaches out, it's not you trying to connect. It's her trying to make sense of what slipped through her fingers. But you've already found your answer. It wasn't in a message. It wasn't in an apology. It was in the mirror. You didn't close the chapter. You became the pen. You don't need to be told why she let go, because now you're just glad you finally did. Fifth thing, she came back for the comfort, not the consequence. Most guys don't realize this until it's too late. When she comes back, it's not always because she wants you. It's because she misses the version of herself she got to be around you. The version that felt safe. The version that felt adored. The version that had someone steady while she wandered off chasing chaos. But here's the catch. She's not always returning with accountability. She's returning for comfort, not to face the consequence of leaving you behind. She wants the soft landing without owning the crash. She wants the man who picked up her broken pieces without ever asking how he got caught in the process. But you're not that man anymore. You've seen too much, felt too deeply, and healed in places she'll never know existed. So now when she shows up at your door, it's not about welcoming her back with open arms. It's about asking yourself a powerful question. Is she here because she's ready to rebuild, or just to rest in what I used to offer? Because this time, your peace is not up for rent. Sixth thing, you stopped explaining your worth. There was a time you tolerated being almost chosen. You made excuses for her confusion, told yourself she just needs time, or maybe she's scared. But deep down, you knew she wasn't scared. She just wasn't sure about you. And that stung more than any rejection ever could. Because when a woman sees your value, she doesn't hesitate. She doesn't play chess with your heart while texting someone else on the side. Now you've learned something most men never do. You're not here to be her maybe. You're not here to convince her. You're not here to audition for a role in her life like some backup plan. You're the man who chooses himself so deeply, so unapologetically, that anyone unsure about you is gently shown the door. And here's the twist. The moment you stop trying to prove you're worth staying for, people finally saw what they missed out on. Because real presence doesn't beg, it walks, and lets the silence teach the lesson. You're either a hell yes in her life, or you're completely gone, no more middle ground. So, if she pulled away, let her. If she couldn't see your value, good. That means she wasn't meant to sit at your table. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to become the kind of man who doesn't flinch when he's left because he knows he was never truly alone. He was just being redirected back to himself. Now go become unreachable to anything that doesn't meet you in your worth.